A mansion, an apparently perfect family, and a crime that shocked a community. How did a family seen by many as a model family become the center of a tragedy that exposed a huge facade? In today's video, I'm going to talk about the Kamal family case, a case that shook the small town of Dover. December 28, 2023 began like any other day in Dover, a small and quiet town in Massachusetts. The town was known for its sprawling estates, low crime rate, and for hosting some of the most exclusive residences in the state. However, around 7:30 in the evening, a call to the emergency number shattered that calm. The voice on the other end reported that 3 lifeless bodies had been found inside a luxurious mansion located on a private street. The caller was Manoj, Rakesh's brother. For several days, he had tried to reach his brother without success, which began to worry him. Faced with the family's complete silence, he decided to drive to the property to check if everything was all right. Upon arriving at the residence and entering, he was confronted with a devastating scene that forced him to immediately contact the authorities. When the police arrived, they searched all the rooms and confirmed what Manoj had discovered moments earlier. Inside the house were the lifeless bodies of the 3 members of the Kamal family. The mother, Tina, 54, was found in one of the bedrooms. Ariana, the couple's 18-year-old daughter, was found in another room, and the father, Rakesh, 57, was found on the floor near the master bedroom. The house showed no signs of burglary or struggle. Everything appeared to be in order inside the mansion where the 3 lived, leaving investigators with a troubling mystery in one of the safest areas of the state. The news spread quickly throughout Dover and the greater Boston area. During the first hours of the investigation, authorities avoided confirming details about how the Kamal family members died or whether there was any suspect. The case also caused an uproar in the social and professional circles frequented by the family. Rakesh was known in the business world as an entrepreneur involved in technology development and innovative educational projects. Meanwhile, his wife, Tina, actively participated in philanthropic and community activities. The death of Ariana, the couple's teenage daughter, caused a wave of sadness among those who knew her. To many, the Kamal family was a portrait of success and stability. 2 days after the discovery, the district attorney made the first public statement about the case, describing the incident as an episode of domestic violence that ended in family tragedy. Although he avoided details about the exact sequence of events, he expressed his condolences to the victims' families. During the same press conference, it was confirmed that a firearm had been found inside the house, very close to Rakesh's body. The attorney indicated that the weapon would be crucial in determining how the deaths occurred, although he clarified that final results would depend on the coroner's report. He also explained that, until then, there were no prior records of domestic violence involving the Kamal family. According to police records, no domestic dispute complaints had been registered at that address, which increased investigators' perplexity. However, the attorney tried to reassure neighbors, stating that the incident posed no threat to the community. In Dover, where violent episodes are extremely rare, the last event of this type had occurred several years earlier. For those who knew the Kamal family, the tragedy was even harder to understand, as they had projected an image of stability, success, and family harmony for years. Rakesh Kamal and Tina Kamal were of Indian origin and had built a life together in the United States over many years. Over time, this union evolved into a relationship that seemed solid and full of shared goals. After settling in the country, they quickly integrated into high-level academic and professional circles, which later allowed them to develop their own ventures. To those around them, they represented the perfect example of an immigrant couple who thrived through education, discipline, and ambition. According to information shared on their professional profiles, Rakesh attended some of the country's most prestigious academic institutions. Among them were Boston University, Stanford University, and the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. With this background, he carved a path in the software development world and began participating in various technology and business projects. Tina, in turn, also had a remarkable academic resume. In India, she graduated from Delhi University, where she demonstrated great intellectual ability from a young age. She later continued her studies in the United States, where she claimed to have studied at Harvard University, an experience that, according to people close to her, profoundly influenced her professional career and integration into American society. Over the years, Rakesh and Tina's life became more stable, both professionally and personally. Around 2005, their only daughter, Ariana, was born. She grew up in an environment that combined educational opportunities, economic stability, and strong involvement in community activities. Rakesh was proud not only to be a businessman but also of his role as a dedicated father. He often emphasized the importance of responsible parenting and the time parents should dedicate to their children in conversations and professional profiles. Tina also maintained a highly visible presence in the community. She actively participated in her daughter's school life and devoted part of her time to volunteer work. One of the organizations she was deeply involved with was the American Red Cross, where she volunteered and also made significant donations. Her commitment was such that she joined a network of benefactors supporting humanitarian and social assistance programs. For many community members, Tina was a generous woman deeply committed to charitable causes. The couple's daughter attended one of Massachusetts' most prestigious schools, where she excelled academically and in community initiatives. There, she engaged in tutoring activities and collaborated with community service programs, following the example of dedication she saw in her mother. Ariana was described as a responsible and curious young woman, deeply interested in learning, but who also had a creative and artistic side that set her apart from her peers. Music played a very important role in her life, especially singing, a passion she had cultivated for years. After finishing high school, she continued her studies at a private liberal arts college in Vermont, a school renowned for both its academic prestige and high cost. Her parents covered her education, which exceeded $64,000 per year, in addition to funding music lessons, another of the young woman's great passions. Over the years, the Kamal family's life seemed to be heading in an increasingly prosperous direction. In 2016, the couple founded the company EduNova, a project aimed at developing educational systems to prepare students for the challenges of the global economy. According to information on the company's website, EduNova's goal was to create training resources that connected students with university professors and executives from large corporations. The idea was for young people to develop the skills necessary to lead and thrive in an increasingly competitive and technologically advanced world. With the growth of their business and the consolidation of their financial position, in 2019, they made a decision that reflected their new standard of living. They purchased a magnificent mansion in one of Massachusetts' most exclusive areas. The property, valued at around $4 million, was financed with a bank mortgage and was located at the end of a private cul-de-sac spanning more than 1.5 miles of land. For Rakesh, this wealth wasn't just about money, it was his entire identity. He believed that without it, his life would no longer have any value. And later on, you will understand how this fortune is connected to the tragedy I am narrating today. To outsiders, the house represented confirmation that the Kamal family had achieved the American dream. In December 2023, Ariana returned home to spend the Christmas holidays with her parents after her first semester at university. The reunion promised to be a joyful moment. Those days seemed to reflect the image of a united and successful family, celebrating the end of a year full of achievements. No one imagined that those holidays would be the last they would spend together. As the investigation progressed, authorities reconstructed what happened inside the mansion on that fateful night. Forensic analysis confirmed that Tina and Ariana were shot in the head while sleeping in their respective beds. The evidence suggested that neither had a chance to react or defend themselves. Everything indicated that the attack occurred while they were resting, which explained the absence of any signs of struggle or resistance. After shooting his wife and daughter, Rakesh apparently turned the weapon on himself using the same .40 caliber Glock pistol, which was not registered in his name and for which he had no license. Following this discovery, authorities began a process to trace the origin of the gun and reconstruct its history. Meanwhile, the case became an inexplicable mystery involving a family tragedy that had occurred behind closed doors in that mansion, a symbol of prosperity. However, what no one understood was what had led Rakesh Kamal to make such a devastating decision. The answer began to emerge when investigators and the media started examining more closely the real life hidden behind the family's public image. According to multiple sources, in recent years, businessman Rakesh had been facing serious financial problems, which he apparently kept secret even from his own family. Although he publicly continued to present himself as a successful entrepreneur, privately, he was accumulating increasingly unsustainable debts. The situation became clearer when, before tax authorities, Tina Kamal requested the opening of a corporate dissolution and bankruptcy filing. The documents listed debts related to employee benefits and creditors, which could range from $1 million to $10 million. However, the attempt to declare bankruptcy failed. Only 2 months later, the case was dismissed because the documents had been filled out incorrectly and did not contain enough information to proceed. Even so, these documents revealed for the first time the magnitude of the financial problems that had accumulated in the family's business. Just to make it clear, Tina knew the company wasn't doing well, and she even tried to file for Edunova's bankruptcy herself. But what Rakesh was hiding from her and from everyone around him was that the financial disaster was far deeper and more personal than she imagined, involving secrets he was not willing to reveal. Authorities also discovered that the debts were not limited to the company. The purchase of the mansion left the family with a multi-million-dollar mortgage, whose payments began to fall behind over time. The accrued interest and late fees made the debt an increasingly unsustainable burden. Rakesh tried to renegotiate the loan with the bank and seek new financing options, but his efforts failed to reverse the situation. This financial pressure was compounded by unsuccessful investments and additional loans the businessman had taken at different times. All this created a true financial storm that Rakesh managed to conceal for years. The situation reached a critical point when the bank initiated foreclosure proceedings on the property. A few days before the crime, Rakesh received a formal eviction notice, demanding that he vacate the mansion where he lived. Investigators believe this may have been the trigger for the tragedy. The imminent loss of the house, which symbolized his public success, seemed to mark the moment when reality could no longer be hidden. After the tragedy, Tina's family decided to break their silence. Her brother, Sandeep Bedi, spoke publicly about the pain they were experiencing and the revelations that had emerged afterward. According to Sandeep, Rakesh had cultivated for years an image of success that did not fully reflect reality. Sandeep stated that his brother-in-law hid the severity of his financial problems and even exaggerated aspects of his professional trajectory. For example, Rakesh's claims of graduating from MIT were inaccurate, as he had only attended executive programs that provided certificates, not academic degrees. Doubts also arose about other aspects of the couple's public life. Some claims regarding Tina's studies at Harvard could not be verified by the university itself when journalists tried to confirm them. But one of the most surprising revelations came to light months after the tragedy. In July 2024, it was revealed that 4 days before the crime, on December 24th, a request to change Tina's life insurance policy, valued at $1,250,000, had been sent by fax. In the original document, her husband was the sole beneficiary, while Ariana was listed as the secondary beneficiary. However, the requested change made Rakesh and Ariana the primary beneficiaries and designated Manoj Kamal, Rakesh's brother, as the backup beneficiary. After the deaths of the 3 family members, this document sparked a dispute among relatives. On one side, Manoj claimed that the insurance company should honor the latest policy change and release the money to him. On the other side, Sandeep Bedi, the brother managing Tina's estate, questioned the document's authenticity and the validity of the signature, noting that the witness who allegedly observed the signing was never located. By September 2024, the 2 families remained embroiled in a legal battle over the insurance policy, a conflict that could be resolved through a settlement or a lengthy trial. So far, we don't have any new details about the case. It seems that even after such a devastating loss, the shadows of financial dispute continue to haunt the Kamal legacy. All right, everyone, that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching until the end, and I'll see you in the next video.